Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, April 1st, 2022. Today we're going to recap yesterday's NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball spring training games, look ahead to today and the weekend's games. We'll go over the weekend's Major League Soccer slate. Then we'll do some college basketball with Dan IT and the TBC ending, and the Final Fours for the men's and the women's starting this weekend. Golf, NASCAR, news and notes, and my best bet of the day. We're going to start the NBA. We'll recap last night's games and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Some interesting results last night in the association, to say the least. The Pistons over the 76ers, 102-94. Terrible loss for the Sixers. Bucks over the Nets, 120-119 in overtime. Not a good loss for Brooklyn, with Chris Middleton getting ejected, weirdly enough. Hawks over the Cavaliers, 131-107. As the Knicks and the Wizards are eliminated from playoff contention. Bulls over the Clippers, 135-130 in overtime. And the Jazz over the Lakers, 122-109. 10 games tonight. 7 o'clock, you have the Raptors and the Magic. My projection is Raptors 9, total 224 and a fifth. And it is the Raptors by 10.5, total 216.5. I'm going to go with the over, despite some injuries. Mavericks Wizards. So Kristaps Porzingis against his old team. My projection is Dallas by 7.25, total 226 and 7/10, and it's 8.5 and 216.5. I'll go over, despite no Kyle Kuzma. For Washington, 7:30 of the Pacers and the Celtics. My projection is Boston 14, total 232 and 17/20, and it's 15 and 226. My lines have been so close. It's the totals. I'm going to go over again here. Sans no Robert Williams and a couple of Indies dudes. 8 o'clock, Kings Rockets. My projection is the Rockets by 4, total 230 and a fifth, and it is Sack by 2, total 232. I'm going to take the Rockets plus 2 and plus 116 outright. Despite no Christian Wood, the Kings don't have Fox or Sabonis. NBA TV, Suns Grizzlies. That's a good game. My projection is Phoenix by 6.5 or 6 3/4, total 228. And it's 7 and 229. Very close. I guess a slight under because of no Ja Morant. Clippers Bucks. My projection is Bucks 5 3/4, total 237. And it's 7.5 and 228. I'm gonna go under. I like the under a lot. Bucks on the second of a back-to-back as well as the Clips. Pistons Thunder. My projection is Pistons by 6, total 232 and 720. And it's 4.5 and 221.5. I like the over a lot despite injuries on both ends. 8:30 Trailblazers Spurs. My projection is San Antonio by a whopping 26.5, total 229 and 7/10, and it's 15 and 231. I'm going to lay to 15 with the Spurs. Timberwolves Nuggets at 9. My projection is Denver by 4, total 228 and 3/20, and it is 2.5 and 239.5. I really like the under in this game. And I think that both these teams have shown improvements on defense throughout the year. And 10:30 NBA TV, the Pelicans and the Lakers. My projection is Pelicans by 5, total 215 and 3/20, and it's 2 and 230. I'm going to go under, no LeBron, so that to me is like an auto under. All right, NHL, we'll recap. Oh, I'm sorry, no, NBA weekend. Saturday, 12:30, Hornets 76ers, 1 o'clock, Cavs Knicks, 7:30 NBA TV, Nets Hawks, 8 o'clock, Heat Bulls, 8:30 Jazz Warriors. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Wizards Celtics, and on ABC, Mavs Bucks. 3:30 ABC, Nuggets Lakers, has no business being on ABC. 5 o'clock, Pistons Pacers, 6 o'clock, 76ers Cavaliers, Knicks Magic, 7 o'clock NBA TV, Heat Raptors, maybe that should have been ABC. Timberwolves Rockets, Suns Thunder, Trailblazers Spurs, 9 o'clock Warriors Kings, and 9:30 NBA TV, Pelicans Clippers. Alrighty. Now move on to the NHL, as we'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. Bruins over the Devils, 8-1. Maple Leafs over the Jets, 7-3. Panthers over the Blackhawks, 4-0. Isles over the Blue Jackets, 5-2. Hurricanes over the Canadiens, 4-0. Penguins over the Wild, 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Evgeny Malkin. Avs over the Sharks, 4-2. Kings over the Flames, 3-2 in a shootout. And the Stars over the Ducks, 3-2 in overtime on a game winner by Jamie Benn. All right, now we look ahead to tonight, 7 o'clock, we have the Preds and the Sabres from Buffalo. Preds are minus 196, Buffalo's plus 162, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134, Preds minus 1.5 is plus 140, Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 170. Preds in regulations minus 115. I like that a lot. I kind of think Buffalo's going to tank. Any game that involves a competitor with Vegas for the wild card to try to not get Vegas and Jack Eichel into the postseason. So I'm going to go Nashville in regulation at minus 115. Blackhawks Lightning. Tampa minus 360. Blackhawks plus 280. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is plus 118. Lightning minus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going to go over 6.5 and minus 104. Islanders Rangers from the Garden. Rangers minus 178. Isles plus 146. Over under 5.5. Overs plus 102. Unders minus 124. Islanders plus 1.5 is minus 178. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 146. I really like the over a lot. The Rangers have been kind of low-key leaky defensively of late. I think the Islanders will show up. So that's why I think Rangers in regulation is not a safe pick. So I'm going to go over 5.5 and plus 102. I think that is a safe pick. Um, 7:30, Senators, Red Wings. Detroit minus 125, Ottawa plus 104, over under 6.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Ottawa plus 1.5 is minus 235, Red Wings minus 1.5 is plus 190. I like the Senators outright plus 104. I think they're going to play hard for the rest of the season because I think the Eugene Melnyk passing, I know it could be a distraction, but it also could be a motivator in a weird way because of how much Eugene loved the game. So I'm going to go Ottawa plus 104. 9 o'clock, the Blues and the Oilers. Oilers minus 156. Oilers are minus 156. Blues are plus 130. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Blues plus 1.5 is minus 196. Edmonton minus 1.5 is plus 162. I'm going to go with the Blues on the road, plus 130. I don't like betting on Edmonton. I like betting against Edmonton. I think they're an overrated team in the market, so I'm going to go with the Blues. 10 o'clock, the Golden Knights and the Kraken. Vegas minus 176. Seattle plus 146. Over under 6. Minus 110 each way. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 146. Seattle plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'm going to go with the over. I don't trust Vegas' goaltending. I know this was a game the other night, and Vegas won, right? This was the TNT game. Yes, Vegas won 3-0. But I think it'll be higher scoring this time. So go over 6, minus 110. And last but not least, 10:30, Ducks, Coyotes. Ducks minus 128, Coyotes plus 106, over under 6, overs minus 114, others minus 106. Ducks minus 1.5 is plus 205, Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 255. I'm going to go with the risky pick here, and I'm going to go with the draw at plus 330. So this is essentially betting on that this game will go to overtime. These two teams stink, so I'm going to go with the draw. All right, Saturday, 12:30, NHL Network, Panthers, Devils, 3 o'clock, ABC, Penguins, Avalanche. That is a huge game. Could be the finals preview for what we know. 7 o'clock, the Blue Jackets and the Bruins, Canadiens, Lightning, Maple Leafs, Flyers, Wild, Hurricanes, Kings, Jets. 10 o'clock, Blues, Flames, and 10:30, the Starks and the Sharks. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Panthers, Sabres, Red Wings, Senators, 4 o'clock, TNT, Islanders, Devils. That game should not be on TNT. That's a terrible game. 7 o'clock, NHL Network, Flyers, Rangers, Wild, Capitals. That game should be on TNT. That's a good game. Coyotes, Blackhawks, Golden Knights, Canucks. 8 o'clock, Oilers, Ducks, and the Stars and the Kraken at 9. All right, now move on to Major League Baseball spring training. We will recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to today in the weekend. This would have been the opening. Yesterday would have been opening day had not been for the lockout. Rays over the Braves 5-1. Red Sox over the Twins 4-3. Phillies over the Yankees 5-3. Orioles and Pirates tied at 4. Blue Jays over the Tigers 5-3. Royals over the A's 5-4. Giants over the Rockies 13-2. Rangers over the Dodgers 8-2. D-backs over the Padres 8-2. Angels over the Brewers 10-5. Nats over the Mets 7-3. Marlins over the Cardinals 7-4. White Sox over the Reds 8-2. And the Mariners over the Guardians 3-2. All right, today, 1 o'clock, Phillies, Orioles, Yankees, Tigers, Marlins, Astros, Braves, Twins, Blue Jays, Pirates, Mets, Cardinals, Red Sox, Rays. 3 o'clock, Rangers, Giants. 4 o'clock, A's, White Sox, Cubs, Diamondbacks, Reds, Angels, Cubs, Brewers. 9 o'clock, Diamondbacks, Guardians. 9:40, Mariners, Rockies, Royals, Padres. Saturday, 1 o'clock, Pirates, Red Sox, Orioles, Tigers, Braves, Yankees, Twins, Rays, Phillies, Blue Jays, Angels, Cubs at 3. Giants, Dodgers. 4 o'clock, Rockies, A's. 6 o'clock, Cardinals, Astros. 6:30, Nats, Marlins. 9 o'clock, Padres, Reds, Guardians, Rangers, White Sox, Diamondbacks, and 9:30, the Brewers and the Mariners. Sunday, 1 o'clock, Red Sox, Braves, Orioles, Twins, Tigers, Phillies, Rays, Pirates, Astros, Nationals, Yankees, Blue Jays, Mets, Marlins. 4 o'clock, Rockies, White Sox, Mariners, Royals, Padres, A's, Reds, D-backs, Rangers, Brewers. 9 o'clock, Cubs, Guardians, and Dodgers, Angels. Alrighty, now we'll do Major League Soccer, as we will look at the weekend coming up. And we'll do some picks too, because we're in pretty good shape into the season to make some picks. So 3:30 Saturday, you have Chicago, Dallas. Chicago's -110, draws +230, Dallas +270. Pretty even teams here as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to go with the Fire at home at -110. 4 o'clock, Cincinnati Club Football, Montreal. Cincinnati +130. The draws +240, and Montreal's +175. Neither of these teams are very good so far. But I kind of like FC Cincinnati +130. 4 o'clock as well, Toronto, NYCFC. Toronto's +230. The football club's -105. Draws +250. Gotta go with the champs here. They're off to a sluggish start. They're 1-1-2. But they're still the reigning champions, and I can't doubt that team. 6 o'clock, Columbus, Nashville. Columbus -115, Nashville +320, draw +210. For this one, this is a tough one. Columbus is off to a great start. Nashville's not, so I'll just go with Columbus -115 at home. 7:30, you have DC United and Atlanta. DC's +110, Atlanta's +230. Draws +230, Atlanta's +210. Let's go with the draw +210. These two teams are pretty even to start the year. New England hosting the Red Bulls. Red Bulls even money. New England's even money. Red Bulls +230, draw +250. Both teams off to a good start. Or really just the Red Bulls are. New England not so much. I kind of like the Red Bulls on the road as a sneaky underdog to win outright. I'm going to go with them at +230. Orlando, LAFC. Orlando plus 150. LA plus 160. Draw plus 230. I've got to go with LAFC. They're rocking and rolling, but plus 160 on the road, outright. Philadelphia hosting Charlotte. Philly is a minus 260 favorite. That's huge. Charlotte plus 550, draw plus 350. Oh my God. And Charlotte has 2 wins. And they're only a minus 1. Philly's in first in the East. I guess I'll pick Philly. Minus 260. Guess that's the right price there. San Jose, Austin. San Jose's plus 140, Austin plus 260, draw plus 240. I kind of like Austin at plus 160. 8 o'clock, Miami, Houston. Miami plus 125, Houston plus 190, draw plus 220. I am going to go with Miami at home. Minnesota, Seattle. Mini plus 105, Seattle plus 230, draw plus 230. I'm going to go with the draw. That's still 8 o'clock. Vancouver, KC. Vancouver plus 150, KC plus 160, draw plus 220. I'm going to go with the draw. And last but not least, 9 o'clock, Colorado and Salt Lake. Colorado minus 150, Real Salt Lake plus 360, draw plus 260. I'm going to go Colorado. And then Sunday at 4:30 at Portland and the Galaxy. Portland's plus 115, Galaxy 2-1, and draw is plus 240. I'm going to go with the draw plus 240. I really like that a lot. All right, now we'll go to college basketball. Start with the NIT. We had the championship last night. As I predicted, Xavier came out on top. And they did so by a score of 73-72 over Texas A&M. As Jack Nunge had the go-ahead shot for Xavier. So what a win. Good job on Xavier for winning the NIT. I was right about that in terms of yesterday's pick. A&M, disappointing that they didn't go to the tournament. Xavier, some people thought they'd get in. I did not. I did not think that they were a worthy NCAA tournament team, but good on them for winning the NIT. That only gets them motivation going into next season, especially with Sean Miller in the fold now. And then A&M, I think, will probably be like a middle SEC team again going into next season. They have a good coach in Buzz Williams, so they should be a solid team next year as well. But I don't know if they're going to make the next step into the tournament or will be back in the NIT. We shall see about that. It depends on recruits and transfers and all that. All right, CIT also, or TBC ended last night as well. I kept making that mistake on the podcast the last few weeks, saying the CIT instead of the TBC. That game's actually tonight. That's my mistake. I thought it was played yesterday. I don't know what happened. But I'll go over my projections again. I said Fresno by a half, total 129 and 4/5. And it is, and we got here Fresno 3, total 126 and a half. I'm going to still go with the over. None of this has changed for me to change my picks. I'm going to go over 126 and a half for the TBC championship game. I can't believe that they moved it to tonight. I don't know what happened with that. Oh, the game was rescheduled due to unforeseen travel issues. which was in a press release by Fresno State, as the Bulldogs are set for a charter flight to make the trip for 2,500 miles. However, complications with the flight prevented the Bulldogs from getting to Conway on time. So it'll be today at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Eastern. So now we have some clarity with that situation. All right, now we'll do men's Final Four picks. You guys have been waiting for this, and I have them for you. Two really interesting games, for sure. First up, 6 o'clock, TBS. South Region 2 seed Villanova against Midwest 1 seed Kansas from Caesars Superdome. My projection is Villanova by a half, total 139 and 17/20. It would have been 2 with Justin Moore, but Justin Moore's not there, unfortunately. And it is Kansas by 4.5, total 133. I'm going to take Villanova getting the 4.5 and plus 164 outright. I know the over's interesting too, but I got to go with Villanova. And I think that they can win this game. Kansas hasn't been to a championship game since 2008. Or, I'm sorry, 2012. They haven't won since 2008. And Villanova, Jay Wright, been there, done that. I'm taking them plus 4.5. If they don't win this game, I certainly do think they will cover, even though Justin Moore is not around. And the second of two games, the game that everybody's waiting for, 8:45, 8 seed East Region North Carolina against the West's 2 seed Duke. These two teams have never met in the Big Dance before, and finally we have it. The rubber match of the season in the Superdome in New Orleans. My projection is Duke by 5.5, total 148 and 7/20, and it's 4 and 151. I like the under. I think there's going to be more defense in this game than you think. I believe that this is going to be a great game. I think Duke will win. But if there's anybody that is more motivated to knock K out of his final tournament, it's North Carolina. They beat him in his last home game. I don't think that they're going to do it again. I think the Duke players don't want that for Coach K. And I can't bet Duke because it's not small enough of a line. But 151, I'm going to go under in this game. And I do like the Blue Devils to win, as they will take on Villanova in the national championship game on Monday night. All right, the women's Final Four begins today. Looking forward to it. You have some great teams in there. So, first up tonight in the women's Final Four, 7 o'clock ESPN, Wichita 1 seed Louisville, Greensboro 1 seed South Carolina from Target Center in Minneapolis. My projection is South Carolina by 3.5, and it is 7.5, and I'm going to take Louisville in the points. Louisville, I know South Carolina is the best player on the court in this game with Aaliyah Boston, but I think that Louisville can hang around. So I'm going to take Louisville getting the 7.5 to keep it close. And the second of two games, 9:30 on ESPN from Minneapolis, Bridgeton 2 seed UConn, Spokane 1 seed Stanford. My projection is Stanford by 3/4, and it's 1.5 and 130.5. I think UConn's going to win this game, actually. They have the best player on the court in Paige Beckers. And I think that this is an over game. I'm going to go over 130.5, minus 106. I think Beckers is going to put on a show. Stanford has some great talent as well. But I think the two best players in this tournament are Boston and Beckers. And Cameron Brink's really good. And Louisville's duo of Haley Van Leith and Emily Angsler is really good too. But I think on Sunday we'll have South Carolina, UConn in the final. My projection in that championship game would be South Carolina by 1 3/4. So I think South Carolina is ultimately going to win the title because they're just simply the best team, I think. And they have the best player in Aaliyah Boston. So I'm going to go with South Carolina to win the whole thing on Sunday night. And I am looking forward to it very, very much. Alrighty. Now I'll move on to golf. It is the Valero Texas Open, which is the tune-up before the Masters, which is next week. And I can't wait to cover the Masters on the show. You know how I feel about the Masters. It's my favorite golf tournament every year. And your leaderboard at the time being in first place with 7 under, Russell Knox. Tied for second with 6 under, J.J. Spawn and Rasmus Højgaard. Tied for fourth with 5 under, Aaron Ray and Matt Kuchar. Tied for sixth with 4 under. It's a pretty big group. Scott Stallings, Luke List, Ryan Palmer, Anirban Lahiri, Matt Jones, Brendan Todd, Brandon Steele, Peter Yorlin, Austin Smotherman, Dylan McCarthy, Henrik Norlander, and David Skins. Tied for 18th with 3 under, Doc Redmond, Saiwoo Kim, Cheng Sun Pong, Troy Merritt, James Hahn, John Ha, Matthias Schwab, Robert McIntyre, Ben Martin, Kevin Strillman, Mariano Gillick, and Aaron Baddeley. Tied for 30th with 2 under, Chris Kirk, Adam Hadwin, Sang Yul No, Kramer Hickok, Gary Woodland, JT Potts, and Tyler Duncan, Dylan Fratelli, Henrik Stetson, Matt Laird, Maverick McGilly, Vincent Whaley, Bill Haas, Kevin Chappell, Joachim Herman, Lucas Glover, Corey Connors, Peter Malnati, Richie Wierenski, Tony Finau, Nate Lashley, Scott Gachewski, Charles Howell III, Patrick Rogers, Richard Bland, and Davis Riley. Tied for 56th with 1 under is a pretty big tie too. Patton Kazir, Jonathan Vegas, William McGirt, Robert Streb, Adam Schenk, Mito Pereira, Hudson Swafford, Jordan Spieth, Lucas Donald, Bryce Garnett, Keegan Bradley, Adam Cook, Adam Putnam, Rory McIlroy, Dylan Wu, Stefan Jaeger. Oh, Rory's actually in the tie for 71st today even. That's my mistake. Along with Ricky Fowler, Adam Long, Nate Taylor, Adam Svensson, Ian Poulter, Kelly Craft, Ben Coles, Trey Mullinox, Zach Johnson, Chad Ramey, Cam Champ, Camilo Vegas, Jared Wolf, Pat Perez, and Jake Kevorkian. Now I'm going to go through notables. Tied for 87th at even, Brock Stewart, Wyndham Clark, Kyle Stanley, Bryson DeChambeau, Doug Gims, Lee Westwood, Joseph Brumlett, Max McGreevy, Chasen Hadley, Hideki Matsuyama, Charlie Hoffman, Brent Snecker, B.U. Hostler, Taylor Moore, Grayson Sigg, Dylan Vanderwall. Tied for 105th with 2 over, Matthew Neesmith, Roger Sloan, Jason Day, Gary McDowell, Matt Trainer, Lucas Griffin, Adrian Smalley. Tied for 18th, or 118th with 3 over, Henry Higgs, Lucas Hodges, Kanghu Lee. Tied for 28th with 4 over, Brandon Hagee. Tied for 132nd with 5 over, Sam Ryder. Tied for 136 with 6 over, Dylan Lipsky, Matt Wallace. And Danny Lee withdrew. And so did Ches Vervee. All right, now we'll talk about NASCAR for the weekend. They're going to be racing from Richmond. It's just Xfinity and Cup. No truck until next week. Truck's actually going to be on Thursday. So we got to remember that. So the Gold Bowling 250 is the race for Xfinity tomorrow, 1:30 from Richmond Raceway in Virginia. So the favorites, Ty Gibbs at plus 550. Actually, he's co-favorite with Noah Gragson and Jonathan Nemechek. Plus 650 is Justin Allgaier and Josh Berry. 7-1 AJ Allmendinger. 15-1 Ryan Preece, Daniel Hemrick. 20-1 Sheldon Creed, Sam Meyer, Landon Castle, Brandon Jones. 30-1 Riley Herbst, Brent Moffitt, Austin Hill. 50-1 Mayette Snyder, Derek Griffith. 100-1 Ryan Sieg, Patrick Retzlaff, Joe Graff Jr., Jeb Burton, Jeremy Clements, Jade Buford, Brandon Brown, Alex Labb, Anthony Alfredo, Kyle Sieg at 300-1 along with Bailey Curdy, J.J. Yaley. Oh, J.J. Yaley's 500-1, that's my bad. And 1,000-1, the big list. Ryan Vargas, Stefan Parsons, Mason Massey, Josh Williams, Joey Gase, Jesse Wuji, Howie DeSavino III, Harrison Rhodes, David Starr, Dylan Bassett, Brendan Poole, and Raja Karuth. My pick for this race, I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger at 7-1 to win the Toyota Care 250. I like that pick a lot. And for the Toyota Owners 400 Cup Series, 3:30 on Fox on Sunday. Chase Elliott's a plus 850 favorite. Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, and Kyle Busch and Joey Logano are all 10-1. William Byron's 11-1. 12-1, you got Tyler Reddick, Ross Chasen, Denny Hamlin. 13-1, Ryan Blaney. 14-1, Chris Bell. 18-1, Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, Alec Bowman. 25-1, Daniel Suarez. 30-1, Eric Almirola. 40-1, Austin Dillon, Austin Cindric, AJ Allmendinger. 50-1, Kurt Busch, Eric Jones. 71, Brad Keselowski. 100-1, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Cole Custer, Chris Buescher. 151, Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, Bubba Wallace. 200-1, Todd Gilliland. 301, Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoie. 500-1, Ty Dillon, Greg Biffle. 1,000-1, Landon Castle, Garrett Smith, Lee Cody Ware, and B.J. McLeod. My pick for the Toyota Owners 400, I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin at 12-1. He's had success at Richmond in the past. I really like the spot for him, and I like the number for him too. So I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin, 14-1 to win this race. All right, now I'm going to do my Major League Baseball DH rankings. We're almost done with these rankings already. It's amazing. And opening days in 6 days. Yesterday we did right field. Monday we're going to do pitchers. The starters. Closers are going to be Tuesday. Top 100 overall will be Wednesday. And an opening day is going to be Thursday. So it should be a lot of fun coming up for the podcast. All right. DH rankings. 30, Connor Joe, Rockies. 29, Luis Torrens, Mariners. 28, Sheldon Nosey, Athletics. 27, Gavin Sheets, White Sox. 26, Colin Moran, Reds. 25, Thairo Estrada, Giants. 24, Albert Pujols, Cardinals. 23, Hunter Dozier, Royals. 22, Alejandro Kirk, Blue Jays. 21, Willie Calhoun, Rangers. 20, Seth Beard, Diamondbacks. 19, Garrett Cooper, Marlins. 18, Miguel Cabrera, Tigers. 17, Robinson Cano, Mets. 16, Trey Mancini, Orioles. 15, Daniel Vogelbach, Pirates. 14, Ian Happ, Cubs. 13, Franmil Reyes, Guardians. 12, Luke Voit, Padres. 11, Miguel Sano, Twins. 10, Austin Meadows, Rays. 9, Andrew McCutchen, Brewers. 8, Nelson Cruz, Phillies. 7, Marcell Ozuna, Braves. I meant to say Nationals for Nelson Cruz. That's my mistake. Nelson Cruz, Nationals. 8, Marcell Ozuna, Braves. 6, Kyle Schwarber, Phillies. 5, Max Muncy, Dodgers. 4, Giancarlo Stanton, Yankees. 3, J.D. Martinez, Red Sox. 2, Yordan Alvarez, Astros. And number 1, I mean, come on. Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, your reigning AL MVP. There's no way he's not number 1 on any DH rankings list because he is the top DH in the game right now. And he's a very special player, and it's just unfortunate that the Angels don't have anything around him and Mike Trout to be successful. I know Anthony Rendon's there, but he's kind of become underrated in a way, but I don't think he's as good as a player as Trout or even Ohtani for that matter. Alvarez was amazing last year. I think he's going to be great this year. I think J.D. Martinez is going to have a bounce-back season for the Red Sox and potentially hit over 300. Giancarlo Stanton had a great year for the Yankees last year. I think he'll be good again this year. Muncy, 30 home run power every year, pretty much. I think Schwarber's going to be a monster playing in Philly. Ozuna, I think, could take a step back with the stuff he's been dealing with. I don't know if Nelson Cruz will be as amazing as he was. He's getting up there in age. McCutchen, I think, will suit a DH and part-time outfield role pretty good. I like Austin Meadows a lot. He hits for a ton of power. Same with Sano. Voit change of scenery could help him. I think he'll hit more for average with San Diego. DH is pretty deep. Franmil Reyes, power hitter. Ian Happ had a decent season for the Cubs last year. He could be better. And don't sleep on Daniel Vogelbach. He's pretty good. So DH low-key deep this year. And then after Vogelbach, it drops to like Trey Mancini, Cano, Cabrera. So I like the DHs this year. Not bad. And I'm looking forward to doing the pitchers on Monday. All right, news and notes. I'm going to try to breeze through news and notes. Coming down now, MLB to mic up umpires for reviews, which I think is smart, as they'll use a microphone to announce replay review decisions to the crowd starting next week. I love it. It's like football. And I think that all sports should do it. The NBA doesn't do it. The NHL does it. But I think that the NBA, that should be a next step for Adam Silver. But good job by Rob Manfred. I can't believe I just uttered that sentence. Coach Holloway had a very classy press conference at Seton Hall yesterday, and he got a standing ovation for St. Peter's players. So that's so great that he did a standing ovation for the St. Peter's players. And today's going to be the St. Peter's Parade down in Jersey City. And Holloway's going to be present for it as far as I'm concerned. So some Hall of Fame inductees announced. West Virginia's men's basketball coach, Bob Huggins. That's well-deserved for Huggy Bear. Just hope West Virginia bounces back next season. Spurs legend Manu Ginobili. Tim Hardaway. And Swin Cash. Those are some big names going into the Hall of Fame this year. Ginobili was one of the best six men ever. Hardaway was a great player. And Swin Cash was a great player in the women's side. So congratulations to everyone. That was great. Houston guard Taze Moore won the dunk contest for the college basketball. That was pretty cool, as he got perfect scores on his last 3 dunks. That and in the 3-point contest were last night after the NIT. Doc Rivers called out James Harden and blamed him for the loss to the Pistons. Well, he deserved to blame. He was 4-15 against a terrible team. And the bench wasn't great either, but your stars got to come through in big games like this if you want to secure the 1 seed in the East. Joel did his job, but Harden did not. And Harden, I don't know what's up with James Harden. Is he playing injured? I don't know. Everyone thought he was in cruise control in Brooklyn to try to get out of there, but he might actually be hurt. I don't know. Something's weird. Something's fishy, but it's still inexcusable for James Harden. And he's going to get destroyed if they lose in the postseason. And Doc is a coach that I think is in trouble. Trae Young suffered a leg injury against the Cavaliers last night despite the big win. Hopefully he'll be okay. I mean, Atlanta's not going anywhere without Trae Young. Anthony Davis will be back tonight against the Pelicans. So perfect time to come up against his former team. So he better step up and lead them to a win because they are on the verge of not even making the play-in tournament. That would be an epic disaster. Even if they do make the play-in tournament, they're easily the most disappointing team in the league, although the Knicks might have something to say about that because they were eliminated last night. Speaking of James Harden, he told Kevin Durant that he'd re-sign with the Nets twice. Not once, twice. During their summer trip together that he would sign an extension with the Nets. He did not. And the reason why he wanted out, as we know, is that Kyrie's not vaccinated. And yada yada, we know. A milestone for Chicago Blackhawks star Jonathan Taves, 1,000th game. That's amazing. Bruins honor Tuukka Rask as his he drops the puck with his young daughter in celebration of his retirement. Clayton Keller done for the season as he fell into the boards the other night. And Arizona should be tanking, if anything. Padres eyeing Brian Reynolds in a trade. Pittsburgh really has to get a good return here for Brian Reynolds if they're really intent on trading him. I mean, if they get C.J. Abrams back, I think that's a fabulous return. I mean, the Padres have no room for him unless they plan on playing him at second base. The Yankees honored Derek Jeter, and he'll throw out the first pitch, and there will be a replica Hall of Fame plaque giveaway to celebrate his induction. So that's very nice. They're going to be doing that in September. And Brian Cashman takes a shot at the Astros. He blames illegal and horrific cheating by Houston for the Yankees' World Series drought. The Astros cheated multiple years. I've said that on the podcast. But the Yankees scored 3 runs in 4 games in Houston in 2017. Don't forget that, guys. I mean, he has a point when it comes to 2019 because when Altuve hit that home run off of Chapman, why did he point the no finger at the camera and pointing to his chest? He claims that there was a tattoo. My ass. You guys were cheating and you had a buzzer. I'm sorry. I think Cashman might be referring to 2019, and they didn't have Cole back then. 2017, the Yankees scored 3 runs in 4 games in Houston. So, I'm sorry. You can't blame cheating when you only scored 3 runs in 4 games in Houston. But if he's talking about 2019, I totally understand where he's coming from, especially with that Altuve home run. Jaden Ivey declares for the draft, and he's a projected top 5 pick. So, that's a big loss for Purdue. And also, Johnny Davis of Wisconsin will declare for the draft, projected top 10 pick. So 2 big-time Big Ten players from the season go into the draft, and big losses for their respective teams. Bobby Wagner, 5 years, $50 million to the Rams. I'm not completely stunned about this one. They want to continue their rock star team. They lost Von Miller, and they got another rock star in Bobby Wagner. They're all in Super Bowl or bust yet again. Are they the best team in Los Angeles right now? I'd say yes, even more so than the Dodgers. Because I still think the Dodgers have some warts in their bullpen. But the Rams are the talk of LA. They're the best team in LA right now. And I think that they're going to go into the season as the team to beat in the NFC again. Right there at the Buccaneers. And Marlon Humphrey of the Ravens tweeted after Bobby Wagner picked the Rams over the Ravens. He was upset. And I don't blame him. Because Bobby Wagner really would have been a great addition to the Ravens as well. Non-sports news, Fox hires Caitlyn Jenner as a contributor. I think that is very interesting. She'll be an interesting person for Fox News. And I kind of think that Caitlyn would fit there. Jada Pinkett Smith spotted laughing after Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. She probably thought it was funny because she probably thought that Rock deserved it after the joke he made. But this is going to be talked about for a long time. And the FCC gets 66 complaints over Will Smith's Oscar slap use of effing. So that's not really all that surprising. And New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy tests positive for COVID-19. He's asymptomatic. Hopefully he'll be okay. And back in the office soon, so hopefully he'll be fine. And I'm sure he'll be okay. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Best bet's interesting. I'm going to go with another total in the NBA that I think is off. I'm going to go with the under in the Timberwolves-Nuggets game. I have an over 12-point edge on the under, so I'm going to go 1 unit on under 240.5 between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Yesterday's best bet was a winner, by the way, with the under in the Bucks game against the Nets, even though it went to overtime. So there you have it for today's show. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend, looking ahead to the national championship and everything else going on Monday. I'll have the pitcher rankings, news and notes, and best bet. And obviously we'll talk American Idol as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.